royal family persuaded Queen Elizabeth to spend her last days at Balmoral. The late Queen was persuaded to spend her final days at Balmoral, as she and the royal family made preparations for her death. It has emerged. Welcome to Royal Reminder TV. If you're new here, please don't forget to subscribe and hit the notifications bell, so you don't miss out on any of our upcoming celebrity gists. Queen Elizabeth II had initially feared it would make things more difficult if she died at her beloved Scottish home. The Princess Royal has disclosed. Her family eventually convinced her to put her own comfort before her concern for others, after a lifetime of duty. Speaking of her mother's last days in a BBC documentary about the coronation of King Charles III, the princess described how the family had tried to persuade her that practical issues shouldn't be part of the decision-making process. It is the first time the royal family has spoken of arrangements for the late Queen's death. Queen Elizabeth II died peacefully at Balmoral on September 8 last year, aged 96. After reigning for 70 years, she had extended her annual summer stay at the Aberdeenshire estate, with the Prime Minister asked to travel to Scotland to spare her the journey back to Buckingham Palace for what turned out to be the monarch's final engagement. Her children, grandchildren and great-grandchildren had visited Balmoral over the summer, as concern for her health grew. The Duke of Sussex and his family did not make the trip, having fears over their security. At the time, the palace described the Queen as having episodic mobility problems, with a series of cancelled engagements in early 2022, giving way to a peaceful summer without expectation that she would appear in public. In September, she invited Liz Truss, her 15th Prime Minister, to form a government from Balmoral, breaking with a lifetime of holding the audience in London or Windsor. Then, it was said the Queen had been advised not to travel, with plans for Boris Johnson and Ms. Truss to make the 1,000-mile round trip to Scotland instead. Now, speaking in the BBC One programme Charles III, the coronation year, the Princess Royal has paid loving and characteristically practical tribute to her mother. "We always enjoyed being at Balmoral," she says in the programme, to be broadcast on Boxing Day. "We spent a lot of time there in our youth, and a lot of it was probably a more independent life than anywhere else. I think there was a moment when she felt it would be more difficult if she died at Balmoral. I think we did try to persuade her that that shouldn't be part of the decision-making process. So I hope she felt that was right in the end, because we did." The princess was the only member of the royal family to be at Balmoral when it became clear the Queen was entering her final hours. The then Prince of Wales and Duchess of Cornwall made an emergency journey from Dumfries House in Ayrshire, with other senior members of the family arriving after she died. If you're new here, please don't forget to subscribe and hit the notifications bell, so you don't miss out on any of our upcoming celebrity gists.